Coding made
easy. What's up, everybody, and welcome to your next C++ made easy HD tutorial. And in this tutorial, we are going to be learning about range-based for loops, and they make it a bit easier than for loops in certain situations. So in the last tutorial, we had auto and we had it is equal to students dot begin and so on and so forth, right? And yeah, that's fine, it can work and stuff like that. But what if I told you we could make it even easier to loop through a collection or a container or whatever you like to call it? So the syntax for a range-based for loop is like this. So we say for, and we'll use the auto keyword to auto detect whatever we want. So just like in the for loop, how we declare a variable or whatever, value, whatever, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna set it to I. We'll say I. We'll do a colon and we specify the container that we want to loop through. That's all you want to do. So what this is gonna basically do is it's gonna detect the type, then it's gonna set it to the beginning of our container, then it's gonna loop through to the end of our container. So this tells us, okay, this is our counter, or this is our iterator or whatever you like to call it, and this is the container that we're looping through. And so all we have to do is just make a call to stdcout i.first, and notice we don't use the pointer symbol, and voila, it loops through it, it traverses through it, and that's what we get. And the same with second. So if we run this, voila, we get the correct values that we're actually supposed to get. So that's how it works. Now let's say, for example, I wanted to change the value of the second element. So I'm like i.second, I want all of them to be 10. Now let me just do stdcout and let me just do students. And I'll say students Peter. So I'm going to display the value of Peter. Now if we run this for each loop, the ranged for loop, and it's kind of like a for each loop in other languages, just so you know. But in the ranged for loop, I said that I wanted every second element to be changed to 10. So why is it displaying 4? It shouldn't be displaying 4. The reason being is that it doesn't have a reference to it, so it's just making a copy of it. So if you want to change an element value, you just put a reference to it. And we run it again, and the value we should be getting is 10. And as you can see, we get the value 10. So that's exactly how it works. And this can work for integers. So say you want to just set it like to int, and you're looping through something like that. So let's just include the vector. And let's just make a quick vector. Students. And this would probably not be the best. Probably wouldn't be the best way to do this. So let's just make an int array. Sorry. And we'll just make an array and we'll call 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, and voila. And it should be called students. So what I've done here is I've said, okay, let's loop through students, our students array, and it's going to set it, I said it's an integer, so what it's going to do is it's going to set it to the beginning, which is 0. So it's going to loop through 0 through to the end of our students array, and it's going to display everything. So since C-style arrays don't have a size element, if you want to loop through every single element within it, then that's fine. The biggest downside to using a range-based for loop is that you really don't have a counter, like per se. But if you actually needed a counter or something, you could create an integer called count or index or something, set it to 0, and increment it by 1 each time. But then most likely, if you need that functionality, you're better off with a regular for loop. But anyways, that's exactly how range-based for loops work. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and bye for now.